hand side, a name should be very generalized for the actors. What type of relationship should be there in between use cases, whether dotted line or deep line. From actors to use case should it be a arrowed one or non-arrowed? आप सारे सब पढ़ के आए हो तो पूछो ऋषभ को. ऋषभ, share.
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, sir, I will share the ATM example PDF that has been sent to us by Shubham sir. So we will first study this, study the problem only. What is written in that?
Oh, you want to study the that
yes,
SRS? That
yes, sir.
Achha.
Yes, sir. After reading the problem, we will design the use case.
This is called as the SRS. Listen, yes, sir. This is called as the SRS. What is that?
Specification system specification requirement specification.
Requirement specification. What is the R specification requirement for the system? Yes, for the proposed software system, ये खाली आपको एक पेज की इंग्लिश लिखित दे दिया गया. This type of English one page problem is given. You have to study it. Develop a computer-based information system. This is the only input. From here you have to understand. And next, necessary hardware, software, everything software you want to design, then deploy it. Deploy it in a hardware system to have an effective implementation. So all these things secondary based from this one page English statement. Statement आज इंग्लिश में है या तो जापानीज या तो स्पेनिश, any language anybody can write, in Sanskrit anybody. You have to understand it. Then from this you have to go step by step so that you can develop a software and then implement it in a hardware system. आपके लिए मैं सिर्फ 20 मिनट दूंगा ऋषभ बाबू.
Yes, sir. So we'll first read the statements and we'll mark what is the important for us for the use case. So here we have to design the software to support a computerized banking network. So we'll support a banking network including both human cashiers and ATMs. These are nouns. To be shared by a consortium of banks, that is a group of banks. Each bank provides its own computer to maintain its own accounts and process transactions against them. So each bank will have its own kind of computers, it owns kind of software. We will have to provide other software for the ATM that has been stated in the last lines. So we will come to that. So the cashier stations are owned by individual banks and communicate directly with their own bank's computer. So it has shown the relationship of cashier station with the bank. So in this statement, the cashier stations are owned by the individual banks and communicate directly with their own banks and bank's computer. So this is the relationship of cashier station. The human cashiers enter and transaction data. The human cashier which will be on the cashier station, he will maintain the account and transaction data. The ATM machine communicate with a central computer with which clears transactions with the appropriate banks. So it will directly communicate with the bank only, the central computer of the bank. An automatic teller machine, that is the ATM machine. Now these lines show the functionality of the ATM machine. So we will have to read it carefully. The ATM machine accepts the cash card. So it will accept the cash card. What does mean by accepting a cash card? That is mean validating a cash card, validating a cash card and validating a PIN, verifying the PIN. So it will come under accepts a cash card. Interacts with the user, that is providing an interface. Communicates with the central system to carry out the transaction. So carry out the transaction. So this is again another after validating the cash card, it is also showing another functionality of the ATM machine, that is carry out the transaction. So what type of transaction it can carry out? It can carry out deposit transaction, withdrawal transaction, or balance inquiry. We will give only the higher level of abstraction only. We will go into 3 only. Then another functionality is given, it dispenses cash. And another functionality it is given that it prints receipts. So these main 4 functionalities that has been given, and we will cover only these 4 as stated in the problem statement. That is validating a card, that is accepts a cash card, then carry out the transaction, dispense the cash, and print receipts. So these are the 4 our main use cases. So the system requires appropriate record keeping and security provisions. These are secondary. When we will go into specific in the software, we will provide this additional functionalities like record keeping and security provision on the server side. The system must handle concurrent access to the same account correctly. So this is also an additional functionality, and it shows the functionality of the software only. The software will allow the concurrent access of the same account correctly. So this is also a specific. When we'll go into the specific part of the software, we will discuss about that. Now the last line, that the bank will provide their own software for their computer. So bank will provide software for their own computer, and we have to design software for the ATMs and the network. The cost of the shared system will be appropriated to the banks according to the number of customers with the cash cards. Now I will come to the use case diagram that I have made using this. So we have basic four we have as we have studied, we have basic four functionalities, that is validating the card, transaction, dispense the cash, and print receipt. Wait. I will show. Wait.
So you have identified the basic four, right?
Yes, sir. Basic
So
functionalities.
you want to go ahead with identifying the use cases for these basic four, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you all the boys listen. Rishabh identified basic four functionality. He called them as use cases. Basic four basic. They are called as the basic scenarios. In use case diagram, they are called as the basic scenario. Scenario क्या है? Some sort of scenario. He identified four scenarios. So based on the four scenarios, he wants to proceed. So four scenarios he identified. आप ज़्यादा ही कर लिए क्या क्या यह सब?
No sir, ज़्यादा नहीं कैसे? सर चार basic थे: validate, transaction, dispense cash, and receipt. I have added withdraw, deposit, and check balance.
Use case, listen. Use case should have a name. मैं शुरू से ही बोल रहा हूँ. It should start with verb, end with a noun. जैसे पहले ही लिखा तुमने.
Yes, it should be a verb noun pair.
Verb noun pair, जोड़ी. Verb noun pair, जोड़ी.
Sir, so the card itself is
You have identified किया ना? You have identified four functionalities.
Yes, sir. Sir, the card itself is a noun. Here cash is a noun. Here receipt is a noun.
आपको दो थप्पड़ लगेगा. आप तो ठीक बातें मत करो. वर्ब नाउन की जोड़ी भैया बोल रहे हैं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आप लास्ट क्लास से कब बोल रहे हो? वर्ब नाउन की जोड़ी.
Correct the transaction, withdraw, deposit, all those. It should be withdraw money.
You do the correction. Other students also tell. If at all Siddharth, tell him if at all he is making any mistake.
Yes, sir.
Siddharth Rautrai.
Yes, sir.
You tell him. Why I will tell. You went through how to draw the use case diagram all through the night yesterday. You tell him. You should cooperate, not me. It's not my job only.
Should the include arrow you have given, it will be like reverse from withdraw money to dispense cash. It will be include.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So these arrows in between the use cases should be dotted line or a bold line.
Sir, from a actor to the use case, the association is directed here. We can have also an undirected association, because association itself depicts the relationship between a customer, between the actor and the use case only. Now if we use directed, it shows directly, but if we do not use the directed association, in undirected association it also shows the association, because use case can't do work on the actor will work on the use case only. So it will
don't keep. So listen boys, from actor to use case, they should be undirected. Make
Yes,
it
sir.
undirected. Undirected, just connect.
it will have no difference in the use case diagram.
Yeah. There should be bold lines, right?
Yes, sir. They will be bold lines, and the other functional other relationships like include, exclude, generalization will have different kind of lines. Like the include and exclude lines will have dotted pair of lines. They will be dotted. So what is the difference between? What is the difference? So I have, in the diagram I have included verify login with the validate card. So what is include and what is exclude, extend? What is include and what is extend? Include states that whenever a use case is run, the included the included use case will implicitly run along with it. Implicitly run means whenever I will validate card, verify login will always run. Whereas in the case of extend, here I used the extend in the print receipt and check balance, between check balance and print receipt. So the extend relationship shows that whenever a use case runs, the extended use case may or may not run, depending on the situation. So this is the basic difference between include and extend. Include will always run with the use case it is included in it, and extend may or may not run with the use case included in it, and use case
Rishabh,
used in it. Yes, sir.
the include from print receipt to deposit money. So the direction
Print.
should be from deposit money to print receipt, or from print
Yes, sir.
receipt to deposit money. The direction of the include. Is it right? From print receipt to deposit money, or it should be the other way?
So direction, sir. Wait, sir. So the system is lagging, sir.
Deposit money, there will be a option print receipt. Or withdraw money,
Yes, sir.
there will be option for print receipt.
Yes, sir. So my system is a little bit lagging, sir.
A transaction is a noun. Put a verb behind it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's the main job you are doing now. So do it correctly. Everybody's doubt will be clear.
Yes, sir.
Somo Somu Sekhar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Why don't
sir.
you tell? Why don't you guide Rishabh? Why don't you tell him to do properly? Why are you sleeping?
Not sleeping, sir.
Not sleeping. If you are not telling me, I'll think that you are sleeping. Giving answer is easy, but not telling is hard. Do it.
Perform transaction or something like verb noun.
Yes, sir. Now the arrows are also correct for the include, exclude, include and extend.
Done.
Yes, sir. So the basic, so the customer, the actor here, the customer will interact with the validate and will perform transaction. So in transaction, it can perform withdraw money, deposit money, check balance. It can check balance. So I have used in the check. So whenever he will withdraw money or
क्या undertake transaction ना क्या ना carry out transaction क्या करोगे? बोले
Yes, sir.
शुभम
Yes, sir.
परफॉर्म
Hello.
ट्रांजैक्शन हाँ हाँ ठीक है या लाइक दैट और कुछ है और कुछ एनीथिंग टू बी चेंज्ड
Mm,
Sir, the print receipt thing is extending the check balance use case. So I think the arrow should be opposite.
yeah tell which one from
The print receipt use case is extending the check balance use case. So the extend arrow should be from print receipt to check balance. I think like this. I am not sure.
Yes, what?
Shubham.
yes, sir. Extend arrow should be from. Yeah.
Extend arrow should be from print receipt to check balance.
But I think there should not be
What? Sir, you are not audible.
the expense should be included only in the check balance. From check balance, it should be included in print receipt. Same as deposit money and withdraw money.
Sir, but I have included, I have extended only because he might just check balance on the screen only of the ATM, and he will not print out. He will just check balance and go out.
Then arrow should be from print receipt to
Yes,
check
sir.
balance.
I've changed that, sir.
Okay,
sir.
okay, fine then.
So from so whenever a withdraw, so customer can perform withdraw money, deposit money, check balance through perform transaction. So whenever he will withdraw a money, he will dispense cash. So that's why I include relationship is between the withdraw money and dispense cash use cases. So and also whenever he will withdraw money, he will also print the receipt to confirm the transaction. Just like that, just like similarly in the deposit money, he will also include print receipt because whenever he will deposit money, he want a confirmation that will be received by a print. But in case of check balance, whenever he check balance, he might print receipt, he might not print receipt. He just check the balance on the screen and he will go out. So that's why I used extend here. Now, as in the problem statement, there was mentioned cashier station is organized or is carried out by the bank only. That's why a generalized relationship between the bank and the cashier that the cashier the specification of the bank that there will be a cashier station also. So we have come from generalized bank to a specific actor that is the cashier station. So that's why a generalization relationship between bank and the cashier station, because it was mentioned in the problem only. Just like that, in the validate card, the verify login is included within the validate card, because whenever he will validate the card, he will also verify the login also. So this is the basic use case diagram. This is the highest level of abstraction within the UML diagrams. We will see the basic interaction of the outer actors with the internal system, with the system only, not internal system, with the system only on an upper part.
Rishabh, I have a doubt.
Yes.
The cashier station you just generalized from the bank. You have not associated with the cashier station with any of the use cases. So does that mean that whatever use cases is associated with the bank, that will be automatically associated with the cashier station?
Of course, whenever he will perform a transaction, the account has to be checked. As in the problem statement, it is given the if you can, I will share, if you have opened that on your side, the problem statement that the cashier enters account and transaction data. So he will verify the account number. He will verify the check balance also whenever he will want to. So that's why I've done that.
Okay, understood.
Any other doubts for the use case diagram?
If money is not available in ATM, then how to show?
What?
Money is not available in ATM.
Money
is not available in ATM machine.
Money is in the ATM machine, right?
Money is not available.
Money
We say
is
money
not
is not available.
when money is not available. Acha, okay. So as in the problem statement, it is not that goes into the specific part of the ATM machine. What will be money will be not in the ATM machine. Maintenance will be there. ATM machine itself is disconnected to server. ATM machine itself right now disconnected to server. ATM machine itself is broken now. a thief has stolen money from the. These are called specific. We will not go into specific functionalities only. We will discuss about the general functionality that is discussed in the problem statement only.
Okay, okay. So I had told how to identify the verbs and nouns. Okay.
Yes, sir.
From there only you identify this important scenarios. How to make two groups, one for verbs. Then group the verbs which are having similar meaning called as alliances. Alliance means similar meaning, having similar function. So group the alliances together to identify the important ones. That's how you proceed. That's how you proceed to find the important verbs, to identify the important functionalities or important functions. These are the important functions. And from the nouns, you identify the important objects. Group the alliances. Alliances means having similar meaning. So you identify the verbs and nouns in this statement, in this specification, group them together, identify the important, the major ones. Those major ones you show in the use case diagram. Then for each use case you can expand. This is the level 0. This is the level 0 use case diagram. Then you can expand to level 1 as you expand in DFD, data flow diagram. So it also can be expanded as per the requirement to next levels. Okay? Why we are telling all this thing? Because you are going to develop a large software. State Bank is the largest bank in the world, having more maximum number of branches. So if you are given a job to develop a software for State Bank, you have to proceed in a very systematic way. What is level 0 scenario? What is level 1? What is level 2? So you go on breaking into sub-levels, lower levels. Okay? And for each diagram, I was expecting Rishabh that you should show a description. Why you have chosen this type of important use cases? Why? Why these two actors, not more than 2? It's a consortium. It's a specification for consortium. Consortium means all the banks are in a group. So for everything, you need to have a description, a narrative. In the exam, mostly the students draw this diagram, forget to give the narrative, and I give only 50% mark. So you lose a lot of mark if you don't give a description. Why you have chosen from this to this? Why this arrow is not a directed arrow? Why you have to justify? You have to give a description, a narration. So every diagram has a description. Until unless you have a description, nobody else can understand. Okay? So next time, please show any diagram in the left hand side or in the right hand side. Make it 2 column. Left hand side should be your description. Right hand side should be the picture. Okay? Okay, Rishabh?
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to highlight? No, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the activity diagram by Rekaj. Rekaj, come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For everything, this use case is the starting point. From here, you identify the activities from the important use cases.
Sir, can you see activity diagram with UML?
Yeah, you don't have to describe, you just tell.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm
Because
saying
all this
that-
thing, Ingole Bhaiya has told a lot.
All right, sir.
Okay. Yeah. You don't have to give any description, any write-up.
So activity diagram So
Talk loud,
activity.
loud, talk
Hello,
loud.
hello, hello. Activity diagram comprises of a number of activities or a number of processing for which there may or may not be a method of class. Now, for example, you can see this a very. I've taken a snippet of the activity diagram. So here we have insert the card and then we need to enter the pin. So you can see for entering the pin, we can have a method in the class like
It's
uh,
not, it's not changed. Go to the next slide, change it.
Alright, sir. And after that, I have explained about what are swim lanes. So swim lanes enable us to group a number of activities based on who is performing them. So we have used like they are user, ATM, and bank. So for each one of them, like user have what user can do, it can insert the card, it can enter what is the option it want to select, like for withdrawal or balance inquiry or mini statement or deposit. So these all will come under the user swim lane. So these are the number of activities who is performing them. So and similar to ATM, in ATM what we can do, ATM shows us to enter the pin, it shows us to select the option, it shows us to print the receipt. So these are the activities that are grouped into the ATM swim lane. And so the swim lane subdivides the number of activities based on the responsibility of some component. So what will be the responsibility? Like what is the responsibility of user? What is the responsibility of ATM? What is the responsibility of bank? According to that, all the activities will be divided. And then these
So
are some
you,
of.
wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Huh. The important activities you identified, these are the actors. These are the actors, user, ATM, bank. You
Yes, sir.
take all the input from the use case diagram. That is your input. From that, you get this identify, as you have written in the second line, the user, ATM, bank. These are the actors of reserve. From there, you get this idea that yes, I should, these are my important actors, I should put them like this in activities. Okay?
Yes, sir. You are right, sir.
Yeah.
And then
Swim lane comes later on. Swim lane comes later on. First you draw a row.
yes,
Then
sir.
later on,
Yes, sir.
put it
I'm
in. Yeah.
I'm coming, sir. And then these are the some of the uses where we use the activity diagram. So it is used in the business process modeling. Uses the initial state of life cycle model, like in SRS system requirement specification, which Rishabh has already told about the use case diagram and all the other diagrams. And it is also used to understand the complex processing activities that involve many components. uh, and so I mean, the last time most of us were having the problem, like we know how to use the action and control flow and decision, but most of us were having the problem of how to use the fork and join and merge and these kind of operations. So I have shown how to use each one of them, and at the end of this slide I have shown the complete activity diagram of the withdrawal of money from the ATM. So first, let me just complete it one by one. Fork. So what fork is? Fork is a control node that splits a flow into multiple. So you can see that multiple concurrent flows. This is a important thing to remember. Like first we go to the withdraw money, and then here this line, it is it is how we fork is represented, and then these are the concurrent flows. Like cash collecting, the user will collect the cash, and simultaneously he will receive a message, or he or she will receive a message on his mobile phone about the account information, like how much money has been withdrawn. And after that we go to join is multiple incoming edges and one outgoing edge. So what join is, it is a control node that synchronizes multiple flow. So it synchronizes multiple concurrent flows, like collect cash and receive collect cash and receive SMS. So these both activities were taking place simultaneously, and they both get joined together. So after that, the ATM will show the print receipt and any other activities. And the next slide is how to use the brackets, like brackets represent the condition. Like when we enter the pin, then we have two options: either the pin will be valid or it will be invalid. If it is invalid, then it will go to the activity remove card. It's valid, it will be select option. So always use the square bracket. This is what I want to tell you. Know about what we need to write here, but you need to put it in a square bracket. This is the condition. Valid pin is a condition, so put it in a square bracket. And same for action. Action is always verb first. So first we should add verb, like enter pin, select option, remove card, enter amount. Not, we cannot write only options. We cannot write pin entering, something like that. That's wrong. So verb should be written first and then noun, which I think sir have already mentioned in the previous presentation of Rishabh. Uh, and then here is the merge. So we were having the problem in three, like in fork, how to use fork, how to use join and merge. I've explained about fork and join. Now it's the merge. So it is the control node which is used to bring various alternate flows together. Various alternate flows. So here we can see print received, and then we will have two two flows. One is the, if we if the user has selected yes, it wants to take the receipt, then it wants to get a printed receipt, then user will select yes, then it will take the receipt, and then he will remove the card. But if he do not want to print the receipt, then he will select the no, and he will directly remove the card. So one more thing here is it is to bring the various alternate flows together. We can choose only one of them. We can either choose this one, we can either choose this one, print receipt, no, remove card, or we can choose print receipt, yes, take receipt, or remove card. But here in join we can have these are the concurrent activities, so they both will take place. But in merge, only one of them will take place. All right. So this one is how merge is represented in the UML, and this is how the decision is represented. They both look same, but they have the different functionalities. Like merge is used to bringing various flows together, and decision is used to separate them in two different activities. And this is the final diagram, which shows the hello. Uh, final This is the final activity diagram for the withdrawal of money. So here there are three swim lanes: user, ATM, and bank. So all the other above slides, like these all the three slides I have combined. All the above slides I have combined in this one diagram. So here first we have taken the initial state. From initial state, the user will insert the card. And after inserting the card, the ATM will show the message to enter the pin. When the user will enter the pin, then then it will get validated from the bank whether it is correct or not correct. If it is not correct, then we will come to the state of remove the card. And I mean, ATM will prompt the message of removing the card, and then the user will take the card, will restore further state. But if our pin is valid, then ATM will show the message to select the option. User will select the option of withdrawing the money, to withdraw the money, and then it will have two options, like withdraw from current or withdraw from savings. And one more thing, you cannot write only current, you cannot write only savings. In any action, you need to write verb first, then noun. So withdraw from current, withdraw from savings, or you can write withdraw current, withdraw savings, something like that. And after I have used, so let's say if the user select withdraw from savings, then this it is the merge option, it is the merge node, and from there the bank will ask enter amount to withdraw. So here I have used the fork. So whatever amount let's say user have entered, then it will have two options. The ATM will say to collect the cash, and simultaneously the bank will update the account details, like how much amount has been deducted, or uh, something like that. And simultaneously to set the SMS, we will receive an SMS from the bank on our mobile phone. So these two activities will take place concurrently. These two flows will take place concurrently, and after that we join them together, and then ATM will tell us to print the receipt. It will give an option to print the receipt. If we have selected yes, then we will collect the receipt and then we will merge it with the remove card. But if we have selected no, then we will come straight to the remove card, and after that user will take the card back. So thank you. Any doubts or anything?
You have to make a description, because
Yes,
your diagram only you can understand. Your other friends cannot understand until unless you describe it properly. Okay.
yes, sir. I
So
will.
you have to, for every diagram, make a description. In the next class, everybody has to show a proper step by step description, how you have identified the activities, how you have identified the connectivity between the different activities, how you have identified the lanes, why first lane, second lane, third lane, which one to be kept in the first lane, how the swim lanes are fixed up. So you have to justify for everything. Otherwise, there is every chance of error in the programming level. You have to move very systematically. How you are getting all these tips from use case diagram only, that is the starting point. Taking that as a reference, you have to build up the activity diagram. Taking that as a reference. So that has to be done first, and then this. In many books you will find activity diagram sometimes is done first, but I don't agree to that. So I always start with use case diagram, but they are almost related very much to each other. Very much related. Very much there is a close relation between use case diagram and activity diagram. Very close relationship.
Sir,
Okay.
for each use case, we need to make an activity diagram, no? For every
Yes.
use case, like this is for the
Yes.
withdrawal, we can draw
Use
from
case.
valid.
For each
valid.
use case. For each use case means kaise. You have to take that use case as your starting point. From that starting point, how you will expand it, explode. One use case, how you will explode to a smaller activities. So that thing has to be done very meticulously. Which one? The use case diagram. From the use case diagram, you will explode it to a larger shape. So next time I want to see for each use case how you have drawn records,
Yes,
how
sir,
you
I'm
have
listening.
drawn the subsequent diagrams for each use case, and reserve for one use case higher level, level 0, level 1, level 2, you check it as you do in the DFD, data flow diagram. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, check it. Because level 0 will be a very broad one, very generalized one. Then you slowly move down. You check from your input, from your use case diagram, how Rekaj has done it correctly or not. What you have missed, any important thing you have mentioned there, he has missed it there. So these are Judua Bhai, this Rekaj and Rishabh, or use case and activity diagram. They move parallelly. In some book I have seen, in some good books, I have seen they draw the activity first, but I don't agree to that. I always start with 90% of the books they tell use case you draw first. Anyway, so let there be no confusion. So draw the use case, then for each use case, how you can draw the activity diagram, and for each diagram there should be a very precise description of each diagram. How from one starting point you are moving to the next subsequent one. Okay. So I want to see 100% perfect one in the next class. Okay.
Uh,
Thank you, Rika. Anything
uh,
else?
all right, sir.
Anything else you want to tell?
No, sir, I have told everything.
Okay, okay. So do it. Anything missing, read it, check it, then show it in the next class with a description, how it is being described. Give a narrative. Okay?
Yes, sir, I will, sir, I will.
Okay. Then come to state chart diagram, Siddharth Rautrai. You tell how you are starting from use case, then activity, then taking those as a reference, you are drawing the state chart. State chart tells about dynamism, how things change. Okay, okay. Siddharth
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rautrai, come. How dynamically states change. You give here the concept of transition, state come into the picture. As you get the idea in FSM, finite state machine, you tell how it is related. Okay? Yeah.
So basically, in this
Good.
lecture, we first start from use case and then we come to activity and then we come to state chart. So how this transition works is that like for this state chart which I have drawn here, so this state chart just shows just a transaction that is being performed in an ATM machine, not any specific transaction, but just a transaction that has been performed in an ATM machine. So in state chart, first of all, we have to identify the states and we have to identify the transactions, and then we have to show the flow of these transactions that varies from state to state. Now, to identify the states, we have to look for like use case and activity diagram. We have to look for the use cases, and activity. What we have made with these use cases, how those use cases uh, uh, have been carried out in the activity diagram. We have to look to that, and then we have to identify the states. The states I have used here is not taken from any use case. It's just I have made this for just a transaction just a normal transaction that has been performed in an ATM machine. So first this completely dark circle is what we call an initial state, and this is the like below I have made the description about it. So first we have been starting from the initial state, and from initial state we're making. Okay, one more thing I want to say that this the states and those transitions, they are also a verb noun pair, and those states should be in noun form, and the transition should be in the verb form. But there is one exception, that is while using this diamond states, these are known as choice boxes, or these are also dummy states. These are used to make a conditional flow about if the pin is to verify the pin, we have two outcomes, that is the pin valid or is it invalid. So at there we don't have to write it as a verb, we have to write it as an outcome. So this is the one exception in this state chart diagram. So by starting this, we can see that from the initial state, we are making a start transaction. This is an activity that's going on. This is a transaction has been start, and then the flows goes toward the first state, that is our enter card. This is one state. So from this state, we are going to reading card. Means our card is now being read by the machine, and with this flow we are reaching the second state, that is enter pin state. And if let our like the card is been expired or something, so in that case the flow from the enter card is been directly directed towards the final state. Means if the card is wrong or if the validity of the card has been expired, then the card will automatically fail. So, considering the first case, that is the reading card. So, after the reading card, our flow reaches to the enter pin state. So, at enter pin state, we'll use a choice box, because there we need to verify that our pin is valid or invalid. So, from the choice box, we have two outcomes, that either our pin is valid or it's invalid. So, if our pin is invalid, then the direction of the flow will be directed towards the final state, and our transaction will end there. And if not, if our pin is valid, then it will go to the next state, that is display option state. So at the display option state, we have to do one thing, that we have to select withdrawal. There will be several options that will display, like you have to balance inquiry or select withdrawal or perform any more banking options. So here, what a customer does, a customer selects withdraw. So with the select withdraw activity, so now the flow continues toward the display account type state. So from also there will be three types of account display, that is current, saving, I guess two type of account is displayed, and then our customer selects saving. So with the select saving activity, the flow is then directed towards the display enter cash amount. So there would be in our screen, there would be a now there would be a heading that enter the cash. So there the customer enters the cash amount. So with the activity to enter the cash amount, the flow then directed towards the customer's account. Now here bank comes to play. Now bank then checks the account. Now there is a self loop here, because the bank keeps on checking the account, and so to see that if the cash is available, the amount that the customer has entered, is that available in the bank or not. So for that, it makes a self loop, or that's in the state there is a self transition. Now after that, after this state, after customer account state, then we need to make a decision box, or we need to make a choice box. Now we have two outcomes for this choice, that is if the cash is available or if the cash is not available. So for if the cash is unavailable, then the flow is directed directly to the final state and our transaction ends there. And if the cash is available, then our flow is directed to the next state, that is the cash withdrawal state. Now in the cash withdrawal state, the money that comes out of machine, so this is the state where the money comes out of the machine, and then user collects the cash, that is also a activity. So after collecting the cash, then the transaction automatically ends there and we reach our final state. So this is a state chart diagram of how somebody goes to an ATM machine, and then how a cash withdrawal is done. Now after this, how it is related, or how it is similar to the FSM, finite state machine. Now we in finance, first of all, we see the nomenclature. In the nomenclature in finance state machine, we have the states, we have the transition, we have the self loop, we have initial state, we have final state, and all those things are similar, and all those things are present in the state chart also. Now what else is similar in this? Now in FSM, from a state we give an input, and then we are directed to another state. So the state behavior change as per the input we give. We don't have a single input, we can have multiple inputs, like depending upon our FSM, we can have, say, for any input our state behavior change from one state to another, and the action is being performed there. So here is also the same thing happens. Here what happens, now from one state, according to our activity, we reach to the next state. So our state behavior changes here. So this is the similarity between the state FSM and the state chart diagram. So that's all I have to explain. So if anyone has any questions, please ask.
It will be quite large for so many activities, because the activities indicate the changes. So wherever there is any change, you have to show in a state chart diagram.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I have just made it like a simple one, so that it will take much time explaining.
It will be quite large. It will be quite large.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
will
sir.
be quite large.
So we have to display everything. We have to display. There will be a use of many choice boxes, many outcomes, and it will be very large diagram.
Yeah, it has to be very large. So how you can, for each activity there will be some change. Where there is change, you have to develop a state chart diagram, because this only gives what should be the input, what should be the output. That change, how the state is changing, the state transition. What is the requirement for the state to change? And after the state changes, how the state behaves, what is the outcome. So it will be quite vast. It's a very small portion you have exhibited. It will be quite vast. One plus thing I appreciated, that for this small portion, he has given a good narrative. So for every diagram, there should be some sort of this type of narrative, description. Until unless there is a description, nobody will understand. Achha, all the lines to be dotted lines, bold lines or dotted lines?
So bold lines, sir. There is no dotted lines here. We have
There is
just
no
a bold
dotted
line.
line in, check it. Ingole,
Yes, sir,
somewhere I
Yes,
think
sir.
there is some dotted line somewhere. Is it like that?
No, sir. There won't be any dotted lines.
Okay, in structure there won't be any dotted line. Just check it, check it, check it, check it, check it, and check it. Just check it. Because based on this, the sequence diagram will start. So the activity diagram, whatever he has drawn it in the form of lanes, how you are going to show it, and based on this diagram, the lanes will come in sequence diagram. How? Based on this is the input. For you, you get the input from the activity diagram, and from activity diagram, you have drawn this. From this, then the sequence diagram will start. And this is the input for that. So many use cases, so many activities, until unless you draw them clearly for a small portion, the sequence diagram cannot be executed, cannot be displayed properly. So next time, do it properly. I want to see a huge state chart diagram, okay? Do it. Otherwise, see how difficult from this portion, if you go for the sequence diagram, then for the other portion, he will be confused.
Yes,
Based on you only, he will proceed. Based on you only. And you can only proceed based on the activity diagram. All are in a queue, one after another. One plus point I appreciated of Siddharth, he has given a good narration. So likewise, all the students, please listen. For every small portion, you have to give a description. Okay, you do it again next time. I want to see it properly.
yes, sir.
Okay, then sequence diagram by Andrila and Somu, uh, because I thought that it may be big or something like that. Anyway, whoever has done, Andrila,
Yes, sir, I'm sharing my screen.
yeah. Somu, have you ever done? Somu,
Yes, sir, we have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
you have
have
done
drawn, sir.
jointly?
Yes, sir. I have drawn sequence diagram.
No, you have done jointly or not? Have you discussed
Yes, sir.
among yourself?
Discuss it, sir.
Okay, Andrila and Somu is a joint effort. I thought there will be a lot of sequences, 1, 2, 3, 4, quite a large number. So I thought, let me break it. Okay, go ahead, Andrila. Who will start?
Yes, sir, I'm starting.
Yeah, don't give any description. Yeah, little bit description and jump to the diagram. This is the last class. Yeah, these are the basic thing. Yeah, go ahead.
So first,
Quickly jump. Quickly.
sequence. Yes, sir. So, basically, what is a sequence diagram? It is a kind of behavioral diagram, and we needed to show the interaction between different objects. And the most important thing about sequence diagram is we have to place the different activities in order of time. I mean, the sequence in which the activities take place, that is the most important part of the sequence diagram. Representation on sequence diagram. So first is time dimension and object dimension. Time dimension shows the progression of time. The vertical lines are used to represent that. And object dimension, the horizontal axis shows the elements. Why do we need sequence diagrams? So user requirements are captured as use cases. So as we know that use case diagrams are the most important kind of diagrams, but use case diagrams capture only the functionality of the system. That is, what are the functions offered by the system. But every use case has a lot of operations associated with it, because for example, if in our use case diagram, cash withdraw will be one use case, but for that use case we have a lot of operations, like we have to insert ATM card, then validate pin, and so on. So all those operations, those have to be arranged in a proper sequence, so that we can properly implement the diagram in code, because when we implement the diagram in code, actually when we design the system, we need to know which function will call which function. So the sequence is very important. That's why we have to draw the sequence diagrams. Okay, I'll skip this. Okay. So next is how to draw this. First thing is we have to identify the components of the system. There will be basically two kinds of components. One first will be the objects, that is the principal elements of our for example, for ATM cash withdrawal activity, the three most important objects will be obviously the user, the customer, then the ATM and the bank. So those three.
How could you identify this? How could you identify this?
Sir, this
From
has been
those
identified
verbs and nouns, from those verbs and nouns, where you have underlined them.
nouns from the use case, whatever objects we are using in our use case, those three, I mean, those objects will be our objects from also. They will interact with the system. So from the use case diagram, we can identify those objects for our sequence diagram also. And it will be always always we will use nouns to depict the objects. And the next set of components that we have to identify are the messages that the objects will send. So here everything is in the form of messages, like whatever like the interaction is in the form of messages. Okay. For example, when we withdraw cash from the ATM, we are inserting cards. So the card is the message we are giving to the ATM machine. Then the ATM machine is, I'll show you the diagram. So when we are inserting ATM card in the ATM, so the ATM card acts as a message. Next, when the ATM verifies the credentials from the bank, the ATM credentials work as the message for the bank. So everything here will be in the form of messages. Okay. Next is we will represent the flow of time in a sequence by clicking and dragging lines. These are called the lifelines. So these dotted lines that we see over here, the vertical dotted lines, these are the lifelines. And activation box. So these rectangular boxes are known as the activation box. And the starting of the box shows the initiation time when the action is getting initiated, and the ending shows, the total duration shows that within what time we are completing the sequence of actions. Okay. Next is that next is we have to click and drag a message on the arrows, and we have to label the messages properly. I'll show with example. The sequence in which the messages are drawn is very important. I'll show with example. For example, in this case, as we can see, whenever we insert any name for the messages, they automatically get numbered according to the sequence in which we have placed them. So here, number 1 is ATM card, is a number 2 the reply message which we get from the bank, that is a success message. 4th is the pin request from ATM. So this is the how the sequence goes. Now, if we make any, accidentally, if we make any mistake, then this is how our orders will change. Like I myself did it once. Like I was trying to drag one arrow, and I saw that this automatically got changed. ATM credentials became my first action, then ATM card insertion became my second action. So this we have to the arrows, otherwise the entire system will go upside down. Next is, yes, as sir has already said, I have not mentioned notes in my diagram, but we have to always mention notes, and we have to name the sequence diagram correctly. Next, Somashikar will describe the diagram, the example for the sequence diagram. So over to Somashikar. I think I will stop sharing my screen.
Anything else? Somu will show or what? Somu?
Hello.
So,
Yeah, Somu.
Screen is visible. Screen is visible.
No, not yet.
Hello.
Not yet. Nah.
Visible.
No, no, not visible.
No,
Not
not
able to-
visible.
Ah,
Now
ah.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. No.
Is it visible?
Wait for a while.
No, no, it's
On
not.
the way. I think it's maybe on the way.
Maybe network issue.
Network is little bit slow.
Now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. In order to draw the sequence diagram, first we need to open the star UML. When we open the star UML, it shows like this. And for this, we need to go to the menu. The sequence. Now it will display the frame. In this frame, we need to represent the sequence diagram. So in the sequence diagrams, we need to represent the conversation between the objects. So objects are ATM and user and the bank server. So objects can be represented in rectangle, and the lifeline is represented by the dotted line. So lifeline can be selected in the toolbox lifeline and represented like this. We can name it by like user like this. I have drawn the sequence diagram before, like you can see it. So I represented the three objects: user, ATM, and the bank server. So this dotted line is called the lifeline. This represents the amount of in which the object is under the conversation. So the first thing is we need to start the conversation. For that we need messages. In the toolbox, this message arrow is there now. So with the help of that one, we can represent the messages between the two or one object. Like set the message and drawing like this. We can describe the message also. Hi, like this. So in the sequence diagram of cash withdrawal, I used for inserting ATM card. I used the message type of synchronous call. Synchronous call. You can see the type of message under the properties, like here right side bottom menu. You can see the name of the message and source, target, source type, visibility, and message sort, like type of message. There are various type of messages. You can use those things according to our use. So first thing, I inserted the ATM card into the ATM machine through synchronous call. While inserting the ATM machine, ATM card, I expect some response to it. So I used the synchronous card. After that, ATM will give request to the bank, verify that inserted card is valid or not. So bank has two options to say whether the card is valid or not. If the card is invalid, it gives the ATM message that card is invalid. After that, ATM requests the user to insert the valid card. If the card is invalid, if the card is valid, then it gives the message to ATM that the card is valid, you can proceed further. Then after that, ATM requests the user by asking entering a PIN. So as a result, user can respond to it, enter PIN by entering the PIN. And ATM now requests the bank server by giving that PIN to the bank server by the synchronous call. And this synchronous call expect the response that it is valid or invalid PIN. So bank server will process that request and give the response to the ATM machine that the PIN is valid or not. If the PIN is invalid, then the ATM asks user to enter the correct PIN. If the PIN is valid, then ATM asks the user to select the options, like various options are there, cash withdrawal, balance inquiry, like that. Then after that, user reply to this conversation, like select option to withdrawal. Then after ATM ask the user which he want to withdraw. After that user responses amount to which he withdraw. Then when ATM requests the bank server to check that the sufficient funds are there in the user's account or not. After that, a bank servers will give the response to the ATM machine that is there sufficient funds or not. If the funds is sufficient, then if the funds are insufficient, then ATM machine asks the user to enter the valid amount to withdraw. Or if the funds are sufficient, then ATM dispenses the cash. After that, user collects cash is collected. Collecting the cash, ATM asks to terminate the access, like terminate the transaction to the bank server. Bank server, in the response to that message, terminates the transaction. After that, user ATM asks to collect the card by the user. Then user collect the card. In this sequence diagram, I used these boxes. Like this box is called the combined fragment. You can select this combined fragment under the two box, like here interactions advanced. This combined fragment, it is used to represent a fragment of conversations. Here that interaction operator I used is alt. Alt represents the alternative. Like I have here in the card validity check, I have two alternatives, like card is invalid or not, like that card is valid and card is invalid. Two type of paths are there, so I can choose at most one. So it is used when the action having more than one path, we need to select at most one path. For that operation, we use the alternatives of the combined fragment. So here pin check also we are using the same thing. Like okay, here the type of messages I used is synchronous call and the reply message. Synchronous, there are various types of messages in the sequence diagram. So see here. So I use synchronous call and replay messages in the sequence of cash withdrawal. Synchronous call always wanted that synchronous call always ask the receiver to reply his or her message. After that only interaction moves forward. So without the reply message, this type of messages interaction can't be moved forward. And the type of message is reply message. As we know, replying message is called reply message. After that, synchronous call. Synchronous call is a type, synchronous call is same type of the synchronous, but a little bit difference. What is the difference? The difference is that it doesn't wait for the replay and moves forward the interaction. Here it waits for the replay. After that only interaction moves forward. Here interaction moves forward even without the replay. Replay may come after later time also. And the type of message is the asynchronous signal. This asynchronous signal is a type of function invocation that, or we can say that we can order something, or else we can say to execute something, or whether go to this state or that state, like that. We use the asynchronous signal. So there is no replay for this asynchronous signal. So this is, and after that, another type of message is self message. Self message is within that object. We use the self message. And another type is the create message. Create message is used when we want to interact with the object out of scope of the our sequence diagram. Like we are having in our sequence diagram user, ATM, and the bank server. These are the objects now. So and another object is there outside of our sequence diagram. We need to interact with that object. So we use the create message. Create message is used to interact with the object out of the scope. And in converse to that, in order to end the conversation with the object which is out of scope, we use the delete message, like here I am showing. Like after that, this endpoint option, endpoint is this endpoint, like this. It is used to represent the unknown sender or unknown receiver. So message coming from the unknown sender, we can represent it by found message here in the toolbox, found message here. So message going to the unknown sender, message going to the unknown receiver, the last message. In the last message, the sender is known and sending action is known, and the receiver is unknown. Here sender is unknown and receiving action is known and the receiver is known. So these are the type of messages available in the star UML for representing the sequence diagram. And so I discussed the type of messages. After that, this rectangle box, this long rectangle box indicate the conversation. When the conversation begins, when the conversation ends, for a particular type of conversation. And after that, this big rectangular box is called the combined fragment. It is used to combine the type of combine the list of or a gist of conversations. So the combined fragments are of various types. We can see the types of combined fragments in the property of the right bottom corner of the menu, properties menu, and you can see the types. Interaction operator is there now. By using the interaction operator, the type of that rectangle box combined fragments may change. That I mean the context of the combined fragment may change. So in the cache withdrawal, I have the two paths, and I need to select at most one path. So I used the alternate, alt represents alternatives. Mean that we to choose at most one path, like I have used. So for me, so this alt option is sufficient for this representation of the cache withdrawal. So various options are also available. We can discuss. And in the interaction, that state invariant and continuation are there. This is the state invariant. This type of box is state invariant. We can use like you can draw like this, and we can represent the any variables. It is the runtime constant, and we can represent the runtime variables and the value of variables, and also whether the state is internal or external, like that. State invariant, this one, this, and here continuation is there now. So it is used for the two context only. In the combined fragments, when you use the alternative operator, interaction operator, or weak sequencing. SEQ means weak sequencing. In these two contexts only, we use the continuation operation. This type of diagram we use. What it represent in my diagram, that where it is here card here last after amount check balance, whether it is success or not, we can represent like here it is a failure or success of the two lifelines, like this. After that, what is, and interaction use. This is the interaction, like it is represented by the rectangle, and top or left corner REF. It is used to represent two or more sequence diagrams interaction diagrams. Within interaction diagrams, in that context, we use this type of interaction use box. So that's it. And wait, I'll show you. And
That's all.
no, sir, it's still there. So there are various types. Hello, my screen is visible or not?
Not yet.
Hello.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's visible.
Is it visible? Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. So we have seen the combined fragment. In that combined fragment, various interaction operators are there now. So I can briefly describe those interaction operators. Interaction operators. Alt represent the alternatives. Here when we have more than one path and we need to choose at most only one thing. So at that context only we use the alternatives, like in our cache withdrawal sequence diagram, we use this kind of box. After that, option is used when we need to represent the choice of behavior, like a choice of behavior. When we consider Instagram or Facebook, we can post the comment, or it's our wish to post comments or not. It's an optional. So in that type of context we can use the OPT of interaction operator. So after that, iteration or loop. When a message is repeatedly occurring or repeatedly having the same conversation, we can represent it in a loop, like Facebook or Instagram. The notifications coming regularly. We can consider this type of here in the loop. There is no termination point. Interaction notifications coming like that. So this is called the infinite loop. This is called the infinite loop. If loop want to execute 10 times, we can represent like this. And if our loop want to execute at least 5 times and at most 10 times, we can represent like this. The size is less than 0 is a base condition. Whenever it encounters the base condition, regardless of the minimum criteria, so the loop executes, loop terminates. After that, break is used in exceptional cases, like hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You go ahead.
Okay. Okay, break represent the exceptional case with an action we need to perform. Here in the loop, whenever y is greater than 0, we encounters, we came out of the loop. Regardless, this is execution of 10 times. We can execute one time whenever after execution of one loop. If you see the variable y is greater than 0, then it breaks the loop and come out of that loop condition. That is the usage of the break operator, like interaction fragment, that combined fragment. And another thing is parallel. Parallel is represented a pair. It is a type of interaction operator. The name itself describes the behavior. Like when we have more than one, two, or three, like sequence of operations we need to execute, at the time only we use the pair operator. If in our context, if we want to search anything in the internet, most of us we are using the Google search engine. and the search engines are there like Bing and or else Yahoo, like that. They, in our context, we are using the Google, Bing, and Ask in searching. If the order is important, like whenever we search in Google, if the result is available, then we won't go for the Bing. Like if the order is important, then we use this kind of diagram. If the order is not important, any search engine result is okay, then we can execute, we can go for this kind of diagram. After that, strict sequencing. Strict sequencing interaction operator is represented by strict. In the strict sequencing, the order of the operations is very important. The order of the operations is very important, and here first it completes the operation of search in Google and the search in Bing. After that, it goes to the Yahoo. The order is very important. So in that context, we use the strict operator in the combined fragment. When comes to the weak sequencing, it is represented by SEQ. Weak sequencing is same as that of the strict sequencing, but little bit difference. What is the difference is the operations within a lifeline is strict sequencing, and operations out of the lifelines, like when we consider the 2 or more lifelines, we can do whatever the thing we want. Like in this diagram, the searching Google, searching Bing, Yahoo. Na? So these 2 types of lifelines are there. In the first lifeline, Google, second lifeline, Bing and Yahoo. So when we execute this, after that we can execute in this sequence like Bing and Yahoo, or else first we can go to this lifeline and execute these 2 in a order. This is strict sequencing. After that, we go and execute this one. In that type of context, we use the weak sequencing interaction operator in the combined fragment. After, another type of interaction operator is critical. When we go for the parallel type of executions, when the result of the each and every action is very important to us, so at the time we can represent the critical interaction operator like this. Addition value, after adding something, that result is important to us, so we represent it by the critical. So after removing something, the result is important to us. Like so in that type of context, we are using the critical interaction operator. After that, ignore interaction operator. The name itself defines the ignoring. And here, when we use the ignore operator, we specify some set of functions. When we encounter certain type of functionalities like get and set, we ignore it. We can represent what functionality we want in this ignore and consider all the cases we encounter. In opposite to that, consider is there. When we use the consider, in the consider what the operations we represent, that only we should consider, and remaining all we should omit, ignore. That is complete opposite to the ignore. And assertion. Assert is the interaction operator which represents the assertion. Assertion name itself defines the meaning of the operation. Assertion means we are assuming something. Assuming something means we always assume that our assumption is always true, and we go for that only. And remaining all cases, if we encounter opposite or regardless of our assumption, that is all false. That is the failure things. In the type of context, we use the assert interaction operator. And the other thing is neg. Neg is a interaction operator which represents the negative. Negative means negative means whenever the system failure occurs, at that context only we represent in the neg variable. The context we don't represent in the neg variable are all positive cases like success, and neg the context we encounter in the neg are all negative things like in that context we use the neg interaction operator of the combined fragment. And this is all the things I have explained. The summary is we discussed about the sequence diagrams and why the sequence diagram, uses of the sequence diagram, construction of the sequence diagrams, and finally components and their usages in the sequence diagram. My references are major references star UML documentation. I have given the link, and the minor references are these two. You can check. Thank you.
Okay. In just a previous diagram, what Siddharth?
Sir?
Yeah, in a state chart diagram, there was a guard condition. If some condition is fulfilled, then you move in subsequent action. If the requirement for the amount inserted, I cannot withdraw 387 rupees. It has to be in the form of either 300 or 400. Okay. The ATM doesn't give me 387. So how that type of condition, they are called as the guard condition. So how that type of condition are to be shown, I forgot to ask to Siddharth. That should have been there, guard condition. So those type of guard condition has to be there in the sequence diagram also.
Okay, sir. I missed it and I'll check.
You missed it. You missed it. Siddharth also, you missed it. The guard condition. Any sort of condition. If the input is correct, then only the output will come.
Sir.
Then only. Yeah.
Sir, I have shown you, right? So that those choice states, that diamond boxes.
Not so, diamond boxes, not diamond. Check it. Guard condition. You check it. Guard condition.
Sir. Yes, I'm checking.
Yeah, guard condition. They are called as the guard condition because based on this guard condition, they will be there in the class diagram also. These are the conditions. If something is correct, then only the state will operate. If then else, not the diamond box, something else.
Can I stop sharing, sir?
You have not inserted that, and a good narration is needed as shown by Siddharth. A narration is necessary.
Okay, sir. Okay. I'll rectify it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Next is which? Class diagram, the heart. The heart of the whole diagrams is the class diagram, which is a structure diagram. So please show the structure. Structure diagram, class diagram by Nirmal Panda. Come. Yeah. Nirmal.
Sir. Sir, to draw the class diagram, we have to first finish all the activity diagrams and sequence diagrams and chart diagrams.
Yeah. Then only you can draw the class diagram correctly. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I have only created a PPT on what are the how we can define the attribute and operations and their associations, aggregation, and composition of class diagram.
That we had done it in the previous class. You should have drawn the PPT as well as the diagrams. Based on this condition, I have drawn it very correctly, the class diagram. Yours is the main. Based on the class diagram, people will start developing the software. That tells the structure. that tells about the objects classes. Then from classes, one has to go towards the component. You are the main diagram for the component diagram and the deployment diagram.
Yes, sir.
Then, if you can't show correctly how other people will proceed,
Sir,
why you are Nirmal Panda moving in the street, not studying? You should have done it yesterday night.
sir, I was unable to complete all the state activity diagram.
Do it, not unable to. Saturday, Sunday, you are getting holidays. You should have done it. So, whatever we want to show it correctly. How many Wednesday we will go on continuing for this type of thing if you can't do on Saturday, Sunday? Other good friends are there. Mahendra Sharma is a very good boy. You should have told him. If you can't do, then other friends are there to help you. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yes.
Let us finish because so many Wednesdays we are missing. So many Wednesdays.
Is the screen visible?
Yes. These are the text thing, Bhaiya. Ingole Bhaiya has already told it.
Yes, sir.
So what is the new thing you are going to tell us?
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, we have not discussed about the attributes. We can specify the attributes as public, protected, private, or as a package. These are the notations for public is represented as plus, protected as hash symbol, and private as a minus symbol, and packages as tilde symbol. An attribute defined as public can be accessed by any class, any other
You
class.
go to the diagram. Your diagram is not moving. Move it. Move the first page.
For which diagram?
Your PPT is not properly. The first page you are showing email class diagram. The first page.
No, sir. I am at slide 5.
No, it's not visible. We are only seeing the first slide.
You are only seeing the first slide. It's not visible.
Is why I think.
To do it properly, so many Wednesdays you see. Ingole Bhaiya is sitting from 9 to 12 with a hope that you will do it sincerely.
Sir, is it visible now? Slide number 5.
No, it's not visible.
Sir, I will share again.
Yes. Yes.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait. Here we describe about the attributes visibility. The attributes can be marked with a public or protected or private or as a package. Public is represented with a plus symbol and protected is represented with a hash symbol. Private is represented with a negative symbol and package is represented with a tilde symbol. If a attribute is defined as public, any other class can access that attribute. But if a class is marked as protected, then the class itself or the subclass of the class can access it. No other class can access it. But a attribute is marked as private, only the class can access it, but not the subclasses also. But if an attribute or a mark as package, then the classes within the package can access only the attributes only. Classes outside the package have to import the package and then use that attribute. association is generally used between two classes to represent the communication between them. An association is a bidirectional, that is, an employee can send, here in the example, an employee can send a message to class company, or a company can send message to employee.
Are you give reference for your ATM example? Why this company, class, all these things, some other thing? Always with reference to your assignment. So how you can improvise the assignment given to you? How your knowledge can help your other friends to improve the assignment? That you saw. You are showing something else to class, company. This why you couldn't understand my language, I don't know. When your good friend Siddharth could understand, why didn't you ask him what is the assignment? I thought you are a good boy, I gave you the best one. The class diagram is the heart of all the software development. These are the basic theory behind the class diagram. You should have shown this association, all these things with reference to the bank assignment. Bank, whatever we are doing, the class name, bank name, what are the attributes, what are the operations, how you should write, where you got all these operations, from which diagram you took, from use case diagram what you took, from activity diagram what you referred, from state chart diagram what you referred, from sequence diagram what you referred. So then getting all the input from other four diagrams, how you have developed a good class diagram. Getting input from the others, how the messages, what the Somu told, the messages, how the messages are important here, different messages, how they are to be connected from one class to another, how they help in invocation, what we are reading in our architecture, invocation. Those things you should have shown. Somu told something now, the messages.
Yes, sir.
In sequence diagram, right? Something dotted line, something bold line. So how those messages you will be showing in class diagram. Those are most important. I want each one should draw the class diagram very, 100 varies are there very correctly. So that you can proceed taking the attributes and operation from of the classes and getting messages, different type of messages. Something Somu showed, messages, how those messages are important in how they help in invocation, getting data from the other class, invocation. Ingole Bhaiya has told in the previous class how message invocation is very, very important. Based on the invocation, then only the work of the class functions. Then only. If you get some message, some flow comes, then only your class will start functioning. I am very unhappy. I will close it down. Ingole आज बंद कर दें, ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
हाँ, I want to draw the class diagram. Draw the diagram. मैं थोड़ा आज I am very unhappy. Mr. Panda, I am very unhappy. If you in my class I throw all the students out. अगर कोई ढंग से करता नहीं तो I throw them everybody out. Nirmal Panda, you made me unhappy. So I'm throwing everybody out. I'm stopping the class. Everybody to draw the class diagram 100% perfectly in the next class.
Okay, sir, I will do.
Not you, everybody. You
Okay.
will check how correct others are. If others are correct, then my class will continue. Otherwise, I will again stop it. I'll throw you all out. I'm very unhappy. I'm not a man to tolerate this type of casual, careless attitude. I don't tolerate. I don't tolerate. So I'm stopping the class. Everybody should learn. If you don't do it sincerely, the class is not allowed. Is not allowed to proceed further. Is not allowed to proceed further. And this is the most important. Everybody should learn how to draw the use case diagram, activity diagram, then state chart diagram, then the sequence diagram. All are in sequence. Then based on all these previous four, not only the sequence diagram, based on all the four, the class diagram will start functioning. How the guard functions are necessary in state chart, how guard functions are to be shown in sequence diagram. Every 5 diagrams do it perfectly, and particularly the class diagram do it perfectly. We'll call randomly and each one has to show. Okay, we have given enough input, enough. Your interest is the requirement for this, because this invocation word is very much important in architecture. You will all the time hear invocation. All the time in software architecture class, something invokes, something invocation comes. The class starts operating after getting invocation. So we'll stop it. Ingole, you take the attendance. I am leaving. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. You take the attendance and send me a mail. How many are present? How many are absent? Okay.
Okay. Yes, yes.
I'm leaving. I'm very unhappy. Don't do like this casually, carelessly. Next class, everybody has to draw the 5 diagrams and particularly the class diagram very, very, very perfectly. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm very unhappy today.
Okay, guys, I'm taking the attendance. Please. Vikas Kumar.
Present, sir.
Jitendra Gora.
Yes, sir, present.
Asim Goleria. Asim. Ashutosh Gupta.
Present, present, sir.
Pratik Jaiswal.
Present, sir.
Shubham Kulkarni.
Present, sir.
Mohammad.
Yes, sir. Present, sir. Mohammed.
Nirmal Chandra Panda.
Present.
Siddharth.
Present, sir.
Andrila.
Present, sir.
Ranveer.
Yes, sir. Present.
Somsekhar.
Yes, sir.
Rishabh Soni.
Present, sir.
Akshay Kumar. Akshay Kumar. Rahul Sahu.
Yes, sir.
Chandrakant. Chandrakant.
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Shivam. Shivam. Guduri Kumar. Rakesh Kumar.
Present, sir.
Mahendra Kumar.
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Srilekha.
Yes, sir.
So Ashim is absent. Akshay Kumar, Shivam Dalmia, and Guduri Kumar. Okay, 4 are absent. Okay, you can leave the class.
Hello. Sir. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, my attendance taken. Chandrakant Kumar.
Chandrakant, yeah, taken. Okay, guys, I'm leaving the class.
Thank you, sir.